Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Apple report for Wednesday, April 26th, 2023. Before we jump into the charts, just want to encourage you, please click like if you would each and every time you watch the Apple report, and subscribe to the wickedstocks.com YouTube channel, and check out wickedstocks.com itself, where we offer a full assortment of daily and weekly video analysis, including the daily SPY report, daily triple Q report, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, the long bond ETF, the TLT, and 2 individual stock picks every week that you never see on YouTube. Speaking of stock picks, on Tuesday we put out a video analysis on UPS, very timely in the news. You may check that out on YouTube. It's free. And just know that when you're watching it, we offer 2 of those a week that you never see on YouTube, only available with a wickedstocks.com subscription of $47 a month. It includes everything I just mentioned. So let's jump to the charts, work our way from the big picture into the day itself. Back in January, when we were testing long-term support in the 120s, mentioned how the lower 170s channel resistance should be considered in reach by some point in 23. And about a month later, we gapped and closed above this descending channel top at 134.87, putting it into the 3 to 5 month probability. And just a few weeks ago, about a month ago, we closed above the lower 160s after hesitating there for about a week. So still in play, but we do have a short-term sell signal. As of Tuesday's close, back below this structure, 165.68 is, now I've got 164.59 as a minor point only. I'm allowing upward retracement to 165.68 today, can contain session strength, and in fact below which, over the next few days, I think 161.10 is in reach. Now, on the way down today, for you aggressive day traders, 162.84 can contain intraday weakness. And once tested, we could rally back to 165.68 intraday. You can see over to the right here. But if we break, especially if we open today below 162.84, that 161.10 formation in reach today, where we can place a weekly low, possibly through next week, and from here turn back up for a test of that low 170s long-term resistance. I will say that holding above 161.10 will keep 171.52 long-term resistance in reach over the next 2 to 3 weeks. But if we close today below 161.10, and I think that's a long shot, let's say we close Friday or the later in the week below 161.10, then we enter another 2 to 3 week sell signal down to 152.67, where we could actually bottom out through the month of May and turn higher from there. It is very stair-step on the way down. I've been mentioning how after testing long-term resistance in the low 170s, that all of this becomes a possibility, and a strong possibility. After testing low 170s up here, all of these in stair-step fashion could be realized within several months. That may be in play now, but I'm not so quick to judge that. I think what we have now is a short-term sell signal in what continues to be near to mid-term stability above 161.10. But if we close below 161.10, yes, this is beginning to look like a route to the downside. 152.67 then expected within 2 to 3 weeks of closing below 161.10. So if you're an options trader or a 3 to 5 day swing trader, you're buying 161.10. If you're a 3 to 5 day swing trader, you're playing the short side right now below 165.68, expecting 161.10 within 3 to 5 days, probably more like 2 to 3, where profits can be taken and long entry can be made on what would then be a 3 to 5 day or more swing trade back to the upside. In fact, after testing 161.10, I think it's more of a 2 to 3 week upside. So if we test 161.10 in the next few days and you're a 2 to 3 week options trader, you could then reach for 170 or 171 out of the money calls that don't expire, for at least a few weeks. This would be the area that would be in reach. And once tested, you can take profits on those calls and then reach for, if you're a longer term, once we test the low 170s, an area that can contain annual buying pressures, you could reach for, say, 145 or 150 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least several months, because I think that would be the play. Now, I'm not assuming that that's happening now, but it might be. And when I do know that it's happening now, it would be a settlement below 161.10. Then we can unravel to 152.67 within 2 to 3 weeks, and 142.17 wouldn't surprise me by the end of June if we were soon to close below 161.10. This after having not nearly tested 171.52, but we're coming into the zone. The 1% zone, by the way, is 169.60 against the 173. Well, it's actually 171.28. So this number is actually a little lower. Bottom line, when you were pushed into the upper half of the 169 handle, that is your cue that we're actually in the midst of essentially testing long-term resistance in the lower 170s. So back to the day itself. Just want to mention we are in sell signal mode below 165.68. This formation here able to contain session strength. This is a day trade resistance area. You could set a short here. You could buy back at 162.84. If we break 162.84, expect 161.10 today, where we could bottom out not only through next week, but possibly into later May. Upside, if merely closing above 165.68, I'm going to say should yield 171.52 by the end of next week. This is a rejection of a short-term sell signal that in itself, if settled above, should reverse momentum. And I think 171.52 would then be in reach by the end of next week. So that's kind of a 3 to 5 day swing trade to the upside if we close above 165.68. Yes, along the way, 168.16 can give this market trouble. That is the high from about a week ago. But as we move into later week, I may make an adjustment on that. This 168.16, as this 165.68 continues to rise, it is our primary resistance and also our buy signal if settled above. And I think 168.16, and I'll just say it right now, should probably be considered an intraday resistance level that, yes, may well contain buying pressures through the balance of the day if we push through 165.68, but closing above 165.68, a rejection of a meaningful short-term sell signal down to 161.10 should then yield the lower 170s by the end of next week. Significant, big, long-term test for Apple in the lower 170s. And I'll just leave you with this as a reminder that if we were to close any week above 171.52 by a 1% margin, this 216.91 long-term channel top becomes a realistic one-year objective or sooner. This move from January to April, this is a 4 or 5 month move at the most. Call it a 4-month move. And so you can see if we close above 171.52, how this could be considered kind of a 5 to 8 month rally into the 216.91 and rising area. You know what? I'm going to leave it at that for Wednesday's Apple Report. Please click like, subscribe, check out wickedstocks.com. I'll be back tomorrow.